Look out, boxing fans. Boy Ash. Uh, just wanted to do a quick video. More thoughts on Canelo and Angulo. Uh, Several things, man. A lot of people are wondering why two losers, not necessarily call them losers as individuals, but these both of these guys are coming off losses in their professional careers. Why two losers are actually headlining, not necessarily being on a pay-per-view, but they are the main event. And there's several reasons. For one, they've been marketing Canelo as the next star. Prior to him even fighting in the United States, he already had a very passionate and vast following in Mexico, even as a teenager, 19-year-old, 20-year-old. And it just transitioned over to the States where the Mexican population is very heavy, especially on the West Coast. And Mexican Americans will back Mexican born fighters. Very passionate about it. They'll even back them before they even back a Mexican American fighter. It's just true. Why is it like that? I don't know. But speaking on experience, because I've been at fights and actually seen it firsthand. They'll be up in that mug talking about Mexico, Mexico, and they're born right there in Texas. You know what I'm saying? But it's just that heritage, man. I guess it's just that love, of I guess appreciating where their roots begin, ancestry or whatnot. But anyway, Canelo was being groomed as a star. And years ago, back when I was on Rope-A-Dope Radio, thoroughly covering the whole process, Canelo was basically given a world title. We all know this. This is not anything new. He fought a welterweight, Matthew Hatton, which is Ricky Hatton's brother. Ricky Hatton's brother was a welterweight. He wasn't that highly ranked. Maybe he cracked the top 10. He was just the average contender. That was the limit of his talents. He give you a pretty good fight, but he couldn't do any major damage. Power was not there. His toughness was there. He'll probably try to take all you got and finish the fight. He wasn't a survivor. He tried to fight you, so I give him credit for that. But he was pulled out of his element, brought up to 154 pounds. In fact, Canelo made him weigh in at a catch weight of 151 pounds, a weight that Canelo himself didn't even make. So, and that's another story. I mean, all that stuff has already been covered several times over. And that's how he got his title. He didn't get his WBC title by fighting anybody in the top 5. Guys in the top 5 at that time in the WBC had earned their way to that position. It was guys like Vanes Martirosyan, James Kirkland, Alfred Angulo. I think the other guys was Saul Roman. I don't know who the 5th guy was. Those last 2 guys, I'm not sure. I forget who they were. But I know for sure those top 3, Kirkland, Angulo, Vanes. And basically, Golden Boy allowed the guys in the top 5 to sort of sort themselves out, fight each other, beat each other up. So Canelo didn't never have to defend against any of those guys. And he didn't. He didn't defend against any of those guys. And now, years later, after ups and downs in Angulo's career, he finds himself at a point where he actually gets a shot at Canelo, a shot he should have gotten a long time ago. And, other guys, Kirkland, he knew they weren't going to give him Canelo, and now he's not even with Golden Boy. And can you blame him? If anybody earned it, wasn't it him? And of course, Vanes Martirosyan was with Top Rank, so Golden Boy did everything in their power, so Canelo didn't have to make a mandatory defense against him. And if there was anybody who should have got a title shot, it was Vanez. He was a silver champion, and that's supposed to guarantee you your shot. It's sort of like fighting an eliminator. It's like the next step to fighting an eliminator, a silver title. All right. Well, anyway, fast forwarding, Canelo finally fought 154 pounders. He finally fought some legit competition around his weight. And when I think about it, out of all the fights that Canelo has had, he's never seen anybody in a square circle like Alfred Angulo. And even though Canelo has seen boxers, he's seen southpaw boxers. He's fought against smaller guys. But he's never been in there with somebody who's actually going to close the distance on him and bring the fight to him 12 rounds. Pressuring him the whole 12 rounds. And a guy that can knock the dog shit out of you with either hand. And a guy who's tough that can take those big shots for the duration of the fight. So the more I think about it, if there was ever a time to bet on Angulo, it would be now. So I checked the odds, and I usually don't do a whole lot of betting, but boxing is the only thing I feel comfortable betting on. I always have. I'm getting 5-1 betting on Angulo. So I dropped a C note on it, just to see, I mean, if I lose, I lose. It's just the nature of gambling. But how the hell do you make Angulo a 5-1 underdog in this particular fight? I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And since I don't get it, I'm going to take advantage of it. Because Angulo, if you look at his record, he's fought more better fighters than Canelo. He's seen every style there is. He's seen boxers. He's seen boxer punchers. He's seen southpaws. He's seen guys who come at him, which that's never really successful. He's fought big punchers, lots of them. You know what I'm saying? There is pretty much nothing that Canelo could possibly show him that he hasn't seen before. Now that doesn't mean he's gonna win the fight. I'm just saying his level of comfort in this fight is probably much better than Canelo's is gonna be, because Canelo has never seen anything like this guy. And I know I picked Canelo to win the fight. I thought he would outbox Angulo, but I don't know for sure. I can't say with certitude that I believe, based on everything, all intangibles, that Canelo's gonna win. This is gonna be a tough fight for him unless his power is basically underrated in my eyes. And I think he has good power. He does, but power isn't everything. Angulo has seen power. He has felt power. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Canelo's power is shattering. He doesn't, just steamroll everybody that he hits. Some guys he has to chop them down round after round after round. And on top of all that, Canelo gasses. He'll take it easy. He'll take his foot off the pedal and coast. He'll retreat to the ropes. He admires his work sometimes. Sometimes he'll throw a combination and, be like, okay, fall down. He just look at you. And he cannot afford to have any of those deficiencies in a fight with Angulo, because Angulo is not going to do anything but keep coming, keep trying to land his punches, his body shots, his overhands, his hooks, and all those punches are stiff. He has heavy hands. He can knock your ass out. So, it's a good fight. And as far as the pay-per-view, I mean, $59.95. I mean, I'm not paying for that shit at all. I'm just not. But in the sport of boxing, when you have a star fighter, a guy who is a bona fide ticket seller, a guy who, let's say Mayweather, a guy who is a bona fide pay-per-view attraction, whose numbers have been going through the roof. Everybody knows that his time in the sport of boxing is limited. And when you have a promoter that's been accustomed to promoting or co-promoting a guy who is a pay-per-view star, instantly you try to groom another fighter who has qualities that you can promote, a story that you can promote, and he fits the bill as far as you doing your due diligence and what people like to see when a fighter is in the ring, whether he has speed or power and he has charisma or as a personality, instantly you start trying to groom the guy who's going to actually carry the torch to be the next star once the former star leaves. And they're trying to see after all this time, especially coming off of a record-breaking pay-per-view event with Mayweather, that if Canelo has finally met those expectations of being the next pay-per-view star, that's why this is on pay-per-view. They're using this as a gauge to see the level of star power that he has, even coming off of a loss. So what they do is, not knowing whether they're going to take a loss or if the pay-per-view is going to be successful, they load the undercard with guys who they don't have to pay significant amounts of money. First of all, they pack it Latino heavy, and they get guys who will make for exciting fights like Santa Cruz, and then they pack the undercard with guys who don't require a hefty salary to be on the actual card itself. Okay, they put enough quality fighters on there to where it makes it an okay fight card, but guys who you don't have to pay crazy amounts of money. So if they were to take a loss in this card, it won't be a tremendous loss as if they had guys who were making over $1 million per fight on the undercard. You see what I'm saying? So this is gonna gauge how Canelo's star power is in the sport of boxing. And if the fight does over 700 buys, I'll say even over, depending on how much the guys in the main event are getting paid. If the fight card does over 500,000 buys, I'm just guessing, I'm not in the loop. 500 to 700,000 buys, I guess you would consider it a successful pay-per-view based on what Golden Boy expects. I remember back in the game, a successful pay-per-view was 300,000 buys. Like when Eric Morales was a pay-per-view attraction, his would do 350, 325, 375. You know, early on in Pacquiao's fight career, it was 400,000 buys, 500,000 buys. You know what I'm saying? Same with De La Hoya, 600,000 buys, 500,000 buys, until later on in the game he started cracking that million. And he didn't hit that million often. It was Mayweather that started all this $1 million pay-per-view fight-by-fight basis, averaging. Nobody's ever done that. So since we're at a time in boxing where these pay-per-view numbers are unprecedented, it is incumbent of Golden Boy to see if Canelo is going to carry the torch in getting those high pay-per-view numbers. Cotto's not going to be around forever. Pacquiao's not going to be around forever. Somebody has to keep the sport moving as far as that big ticket draw in the sport of boxing. And they think it's Canelo. But they're putting them in there. They're to do that, they're actually putting them in there with somebody who has a style that complements him, a guy who's going to come at him. So obviously they feel comfortable enough in Canelo's talent that he should be able to just run through Angulo or make for a spectacular fight with Canelo getting his hands raised, because he's a much more sound, fundamentally sound, more technical boxer puncher. And he's been in the ring with some guys who have enough experience to where he's ready for this fight, where he was not ready for this fight years ago when he's supposed to have fought Canelo and defended his title. And I'm not bashing Canelo because a lot of people, they get all butthurt and sensitive. Part of being champion is to defend. There is, like D-Style said in one of his prior videos, that champion in training shit. That's what Golden Boy did, and that's some bullshit. Because once you got one of them straps, it's time to fight the big dogs, because the big dogs are earning their right to fight for it as well. But that didn't happen with Canelo. The WBC corrupted organization allowed Canelo to sit on that title, fight bums, fight guys who didn't belong in the ring with him, guys who weren't at that weight, and he basically sat on that title for years. But that's a whole different video. So we'll just see what will happen in the fight with Canelo and Angulo. I'm not changing my pick. I'm just letting you guys know that I'm not for certain that Canelo's gonna beat Angulo. Angulo can win. If Canelo wins, I'm not gonna say I told you Canelo was gonna win. No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say That the same thing I've been saying in this video. I couldn't pass up on those odds. No way in hell Angulo should be a 5-1 underdog with what he brings to the fight. A lot of experience along with it. Anyway, the second part of this video I'll try to make brief is Andre Ward. Initially I wanted to do something on Andre Ward, and I know 78 touched on it as well. Andre Ward is at a position where guys is not even trying to fight him. All the top guys in his own weight class knows he's the man, okay? But he's basically clinked the division outside of fighting Butte, who's moved up in weight. Excuse me. And Andre Ward is looking for a dance partner. He's just basically rocking on his nuts, as they say in my field, in the industry I'm in, oil industry. He's just sitting there, waiting on somebody to come up and test and give him a shot, so he can give them a shot. He's hating on Triple G because they're trying to hype Triple G as the next star. I mean, you've seen this before. Why is Andre Ward, why does he have a vested interest in making sure everybody knows that Triple G is not a star? Who gives a damn? You know how it is in the sport. They're trying to groom the next guy to be the big man once the high ticket sellers leave. Once the stars of today leave, they need more stars. You know, that's just the way it goes. You know what I'm saying? But even though Triple G said he's willing to fight anybody from 54 to 75, Andre Ward, why are you automatically trying to put yourself in the position to fight smaller guys coming up in weight? And when I think about it, Andre Ward has his attitude like everybody has to come to me. And I'm like, you're not even a star fighter yet. You know, you're an Olympic hero, and most Olympic heroes you can market as the next star in boxing. It's the truth. But you have to have that it factor. Something about you. Nobody really knows what it is, the it factor is, but it's something that the people are attracted to, and they will be flying to Vegas and going anywhere, any venue that you fight at. They'll fill it up. They'll buy you pay-per-views. You know, you become that guy based on that it factor. And Andre Ward just don't have that. He wants that, but he don't have that. But he's acting prima donna-ish as if he does. He's never headlined a pay-per-view. We don't know how any pay-per-view would do with his name attached, even on the A or B side. And he's basically just trying to get guys to come meet him at his weight. And I'm like, there's nothing more you need to accomplish at 68. Froch don't want to fight you again. Kessler's probably going to retire. Butte's moved up in weight. Andre Durrell's fishing still. You know, he's with 50 Cent, so he may never get another fight as long as he's under that banner. Talk about a wasted career. That may be another video. There's nobody left for you to fight at your weight. So he's trying to get middleweights to come up and face him. And to me, I think that's stupid. You know what I'm saying? You've already accomplished everything you need to accomplish. And there you are. Time is passing by and you still don't have a dance partner. And you wondering if you can get Chavez Jr. Chavez Jr. don't want to fight you either. These guys are fighting each other while you're sitting on the sideline doing nothing. And if you just want to be on that microphone, then fine. Just be an HBO commentator and just talk about the sport. But you're still in your prime. There are no more fights for you around that weight. It's time to move up. And none of the current crop of guys at 75 are going to come down in weight. You saw what Chad Dawson did. He lost all that weight, sapped his energy, and you beat the dog shit out of him. Then he went back up in weight and got knocked the fuck out in round 1. Nobody's going to come down in weight. So there's nobody for you to fight around your weight. And, you know, nobody wants to see you pick on the 60-pounders. Martinez is not coming up in weight. So you need to go up to 75. There are a plethora of fighters for you to face there. Kovalev is up there. Stevenson is up there. I think Kovalev got a title. Stevenson is unified. You know, you got Tavares Cloud on the comeback. Guys you can test yourself with in the ring before you even face those guys so you can get comfortable with the weight. Fight Campillo. You know, there are a lot of guys at 75 in fights that are doable for Andre Ward, but he's just sitting on his ass complaining, trying to make a pay-per-view with Chavez that ain't gonna be done. That means you got to see Top Rank, and if it ain't in Bob's plans, you ain't gonna have a pay-per-view fight. Why are you waiting on Bob, dude? And you're with your current promoter, Dan Goosen. You just gonna just sit and let your contract expire until so you can get away from Dan Goosen, and then what? You know? So I don't know what's going on with Andre Ward, man. I'm really I don't know what to think about this guy. I love to see the guy fight. He's not the most exciting to watch, but he's very technical, defensive, and he has a way of shutting down everything you try. So that means he's pretty much a cerebral fighter as well. He's a thinking fighter. He's not just a guy that's in there doing defense, try to hit me, boom, 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 I block it, now it's my turn. No, he's taking what you're doing and rendering it absolutely useless and devising a game plan where he can get his shots off, you getting your ass whooped, and you can't do nothing about it. He's a thinking fighter. So I'm thinking, why don't you just go up and weight, fight those much bigger guys, get yourself used to the weight, and where you will have a whole bunch of challenges, and you will be adding to your legacy, because there's nothing more for you at 168 pounds, and it's not like light heavyweight is too big of a weight for you. You want a gold medal at light heavyweight in the amateurs. You know what I'm saying? At the end of your amateur career, it culminated to a gold medal at 172 pounds. Here we are years later, and the weight is all of a sudden too big for you? I don't think so. And granted, he's never said that, but I'm just saying for the people that back him, that's going to try to make excuses for him. So my advice to Andre Ward is keep your career moving forward. Same thing 78 was saying months ago in a video he did about Andre Ward. I don't remember exactly what he said about it, but I remember watching it, and I damn sure co-signed it. And I got to chime in because at this point in time, Andre Ward's relevancy, if I said that word right, is dwindling. He's becoming irrelevant, and that's what he don't want to do. That's what he said. Don't put your career on hold. Absolutely great point, because Andre Ward is becoming irrelevant. Dare yourself to be great. Challenge yourself to the outermost limits. Go up and weight. Fight those bigger guys where there are plenty of fights for you. If it's just a Dan Goosen issue and you just don't want to be with Goosen Tudor, that's another thing. I can never tell a guy about trying to make money in the sport. You only have a short window, shelf life in boxing, so you got to get the money how you can get it. Not for Floyd Mayweather's case, because everybody's going to be like, aha! See, you said you can't do anything about them making money. Floyd's made enough money for several generations. Now it's time to just get the legacy building fights if he's going to be TBE. Enough with Floyd. For Andre Ward, he's never made that type of money. He makes good money, but he don't make Floyd money. He only make Cotto money. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he even made Berto money when Berto was fighting on HBO. I don't know. And Berto was overpaid in my eyes, but I don't hate on Berto getting his cake. He got that, you know. Get it how you can get it. But Andre Ward, I can't hate on you if it's a money thing, but at the same time, you got to keep your career moving forward. You'll always have a more bargaining effect if you are active and you continue to dominate in the sport. But I'll leave it at that. It's your boy Ash with another 20+ minute video. I hope you sit through it all like y'all usually do for me. And I'm gonna get at y'all after the fight. Deuce, check out my new fish tank, man, for my man cave. Oh, let me try it. I don't know if y'all can see it. 75 footer. That mug is live, man. It's a stress reliever too. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna go to the fish store right now. Go get some more. Got some aggressive fish in there. They be kicking each other ass and shit. And in a seco, maybe in about a week or so, I'm gonna be back on the job again. I'll be headed on my way towards Chicago to do a job up there at Marathon. So if y'all don't hear from me during April, that's why. Until then, holla at you, man. It's your boy Ash. Deuces.